Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? A gracious good morning to you, good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It's Friday morning. It's April 24th, and it is 3:36 in the a.m. You heard me correctly. It's 3:36 in the a.m. I am in my home away from home, my office. Um, I'm sitting under this fan because I came to work with my hair wet. I actually combed it today, y'all. Before I get into what I want to say, I want to backtrack a little bit and discuss my previous video about cultural appropriation and why it's important to recognize what's going on, when it's going on, and how it's going on. And I know this sounds a bit alarmist, but it's time, y'all. As things are being systematically stripped away, and people with a little bit of juice are trying to push folks back into a very dark time in history, and there's a mindset and the acceptance of the mindset that people of color are less than. And I mean all people of color. I don't mean just African Americans. You have to really kind of read the poem about first they came for, and I believe it was first they came for the socialists, and I didn't respond because I wasn't a socialist. But look up that poem and put you and how you identify in that position. And if your identity is not WASP, you're part of the collective less than, Les Mis. America has a caste system. I need to say that. And here's the alarmist part. The calls are coming from inside the house. Because you have people that are self-loathing, trying to get recognition, crumbs from master's table. And I went back to that base phrase, because it is really base terms that we're thinking in these days. I went back to that because I want you to get a full visualization and emphasis on what I mean. And I can't think of two better people to describe what I'm talking about than Tim Scott and Clarence Thomas when I say the calls are coming from inside the house. Yes, I said it, and I'm standing flat-footed. And what? We need to wake up. Now, the next point, I was a little perturbed at the millennial who had the nerve to speak to me about, you realize it's a country song. And I want to say the foundational aspects of country music come from people of color. The banjo is an instrument that was used in Africa. And my grandfather loved bluegrass. And for a very long time, I couldn't understand why. but the ancestry was calling to him through that music. And I'm like, are you listening to that hillbilly? Yeah. Now, I can say, I can get to some Earl Flatt, Lester Scruggs, you know, those two very country gentlemen from the Beverly Hillbillies that played bluegrass. I can get with that because I understand now how it spoke to my grandfather and how it ran through my family. I can get with Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton because I understand that they understand. Miss Millennial and anybody else who really wants to know what I'm talking about, I'm going to suggest a book to you. And the very first chapter will wake you up to some truths about how we see things. It'll wake you up to some truths about the caste system that I'm talking about. It'll wake you up to conversation and communication that needs to happen. The book is written by a woman, Robin DiAngelo, and it's entitled, hold on now, White Fragility. And you had to really understand that book, you will understand how we operate and how things are misconstrued and perceived, and the whole essence of entitlement is exposed. I need you to believe it was George Clinton. See, I quote a lot of movies and music, but I believe it was George Clinton who said, free your mind and your ass will follow. Check it out. White Fragility, Robin DiAngelo.